I'll be the first to say it. I don't like Full Metal Alchemist's theme songs, opening or ending. Any of them. I know I'm a heretic for saying that, but they're just way too corny, forgettable, or lackluster in animation or style. They're creative, I'll give them that, but I just ended up skipping them whenever I watched them. With that being said, Full Metal Alchemist is a near masterpiece. Who doesn't know the story? Well, to be consistent, Edward and his brother Alphonse are alchemists working under the state in their personal pursuit of the Philosopher's Stone, a stone that can grant the possessor his wishes. For Ed and Al, is to restore their bodies after a certain, pricey mistake, the kind that costs an arm and a leg. But as they uncover more and more of the truth behind the nature of the stone, the dark conspiracy Ed and Al and their allies uncover within the government looms in the deadly power struggle. Will the attainment of the Philosopher's Stone spill an endless blood war? And will the Elric brothers be able to restore their bodies without compromising their morals? It's hard to analyze 2003's adaptation without comparing it to 2011's Brotherhood, but I'll try my best to focus primarily on the first one on its merits alone. First and foremost, the story. It's a journey of redemption and a change in outlooks on human value as the Elric brothers confront heart-wrenching truths about the world and the unnecessary evils that plague it. I think everyone loves it because of how real it is, eyeing fantasy ideas and molding them to fit distorted realities that evoke an uncomfortable but important doctrine of life. That is the law of equivalent exchange, and how it doesn't always seem so equal. Ed and Al are great leads. They're funny, charming, and overall written not necessarily as likable, but more genuine. I love Ed's stubbornness and tenacity paired with his own resolve and way of learning from his mistakes and his allies. Al's similar, but instead of being naive by pride, he's naive by his innocence, and how he relies on his brother, but also pulls his own weight when he needs to. The rest of the cast is great too. Roy, Hawkeye, the Sins. I love their personalities, their designs, and overall effect they have on the Elric brothers. But by far the best character, in my opinion, is Winry. She's one of my favorite tropes, a no-nonsense tomboy who is intelligently written to be a mechanical genius while also having the guts, the patience, and the love to deal with her idiot friends. I also appreciate how sincere her camaraderie with Ed and Al is. You really believe they grew up together. She's the character I always enjoy on screen. Now, are there any bad things about this show? Unfortunately, yes, other than those openings. The animation has not aged quite well. Don't get me wrong, it's still good and stylized, but it's also riddled with that early 2000s flair of silly, fast comedy. It can be severely distracting. Not always, but it's there. I'm also finding that some of the episodes aren't quite as strong as others, and while every show has this, it's especially painful when some particularly seed-edging tales are followed by slower, less engaging events happening. Just get back to the good stuff. Luckily, you'll remember the bad stuff as well, as the experience as a whole leaves the bigger impact. And for FMA, it's quite an impact. This is especially met with the change in story. The author of FMA requested this show to be written completely different from her manga, diverting from certain twists and turns in favor of having its own identity. And personally, I think it works. Without revealing too much, the soul and passion of the rewrite, particularly the final few arcs, imbues the tragedy and hope the entire world of FMA perfectly, sometimes better than Brotherhood. The finale sets up for a movie, and while this can be lax and uninspired in some anime, FMA accomplishes this feat smoothly, allowing for a viewer to satisfactorily go off on a high note with the option to watch the continuation. Full Metal Alchemist is the creme de la creme of anime. It's the perfect introductory show for newcomers, the pivotal height of anime storytelling, an instant classic to the realms of character and atmosphere, and an overall enjoyable experience that engages you on an emotional level and a moral one as well. I don't even have a joke to end this. The good certainly outweigh the bad, and is regarded as the best anime of all time by many for a reason. Well, I mean, Brotherhood is, but go watch this one too.